Okay, there is a little bit of peace and quiet, and I think they've stopped drilling for a bit, so I hope I can get this video out and it works. So, it is the second week of January that I'm filming this. I don't know which week it's going out, but how's life been treating everyone so far? It's been a really crazy week. This is the week that my kids have gone back to school after the long holidays. I lived in Singapore, so yep, they started school on the 5th of January, and I'm not gonna lie, it's been a very tiring week. It's been 5 a.m. mornings and 11 p.m. nights. So yeah, very tiring work week as well. Yeah, but since they are back in school and since the holidays are all over, I just thought I'd just jump in here and do a little bit of reflection. I don't know how many of you have been traveling during the holidays, but last year, and I was about to say this year, but last year I decided to skip traveling. Um, and the reason was because every time I used to travel, I would just come back really exhausted. I would come back with just feeling like I needed a holiday from the fact that I went on holiday. And I don't know if anybody relates to this because, I'll go on this leave and then I'll, pack the bags, take the kids, and we will travel and they will have an amazing time. And then I will be back and I will be scrambling. I'll be exhausted from the holiday. And I'll go back to work and everyone will be asking me, how was your holiday? How was things? How did you enjoy yourself? It must have been such a great break for you. And I would just tell them I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted from everything. I'm exhausted from the holiday. And they would just give me this look and roll their eyes. So if you have traveled with children and young children, you will know that going on a holiday is a holiday for everyone else. It's not a holiday for the mothers. And, I used to feel very kind of, I wouldn't say disappointed, but, you know, because when you go on these holidays, people kind of expect you to be having a really good time. But the reality is, you come back stressed, and then people sit there and think, they kind of roll their eyes or misunderstand you. And you're sitting there like, how do you explain to people that going on holidays is really, really tiring? And I got really sick and tired of trying to explain to people that I wasn't having a good time, that despite the fact that we've spent all this money and taken the perfect pictures and, we've documented all these things that we've wanted to see and done all these things, I would be coming back exhausted. And I honestly felt like I was the only one facing this until I was scrolling on Instagram mindlessly. Please don't do this. We all know it's doom scrolling and it's really bad for you. But I was scrolling Instagram mindlessly a couple of weeks back, and I came across this very interesting article about how mothers generally really struggle with going on these holidays because they are naturally really tired in real life. They're already overwhelmed and they're already, making thousands of decisions. So psychologists have noted that moms often, make 30 to 35,000 decisions per day. And that's the thing that I think a lot of people don't understand. I can't help but wonder how many of us as mothers actually go through this in our daily lives. We go for these amazing holidays and we think, obviously we do it for the family, but we also think that we're gonna have this amazing memory and we're doing this for our kids and all of that. But what we do is we really come back exhausted. And so I actually took some notes. Okay, wait, let me put my cup of tea down. All right. I read this article on where they said, like, a good holiday for a busy mom who was feeling really overwhelmed, is something that removes choices, because we are already making close to 30,000 decisions, micro decisions per day. We pack the bags, we pack, we prepare for emergency situations, we have to do the remainder of housework and whatever not. And then when we come back from this holiday, there's all that unpacking, laundry, list of things that we need to do. Plus, if you're a working mom, you go back to work. If you're a stay-at-home mom, there is all those chores that you need to do. So, it becomes really overwhelming. So if you want to take a break, I did a little bit of research, and they were saying that the best thing that you can do is to go on a holiday where your choices are limited and removed, meaning there is a very strict itinerary where it's not free and easy, and where the planning doesn't fall on the moms. It's not about what do we need to do and all the executive planning that goes on beforehand. All of that is already built into the holidays. So that would be a really great holiday. Luxury. And if I think the desire is just some mental quietness in the holiday, where you don't have to spend the whole holiday, catering to people, and where you can spend 2 to 3 hours without someone saying, "Hey, mommy, can we do this, or can we do that, or mommy, we have a question for you, or what about this and what about that?" So yeah, slow paces for holidays. And I've really been thinking about that, as to how I would plan my holidays from here on, because I think it's really very overwhelming to travel with young children, and just the whole process of everything that goes on. um, I think it also helps if there is a separation between the caregiving role for at least 2 to 3 hours in a day, where you really get to just sit quietly. And so this is why. So one of the things that they were saying, in this article is, and I've written it down here, which is why I'm looking here. Okay, is spa towns, wellness hotels, trips with trusted support help, to help with family, as opposed to just leaving everything to moms to handle it. And this is when your body truly learns to relax. And it's choosing, very beautifully put, is to choose to rest over making Instagram worthy stories, or sometimes a checklist. And yes, we do have this budget list and we want to experience all these things. But I think in this season of my life, at least, I can't speak for everyone out there, but I think I'm just going to choose something that is very slow paced and a little bit boring. It's not going to be interesting. We're not going to go skydiving or hike up a mountain. And that's great if your family enjoys doing things like that. But for me, I've realized, I, I've always chosen these moments where I've wanted to do the Instagram story things. For example, I went to Bali with my kids. And because Bali is very big and there are all these little districts. So I made a choice because I wanted to take them on this little safari experience, because obviously going to Africa is quite out of the question, especially at this point in time of our lives. And so we stayed in one part of Bali for 2 days. And then we moved to another part of Bali for another 2 days. And then we moved to another part of Bali for the last 2 days. It was a 7-day trip, and all the moving around was just exhausting, because it meant having to pack up from one hotel, go to a new hotel, unpack there, and then try to settle in. And then we have 2 days, and then literally the next night you would need to have to pack up and move to the new hotel. On paper, this seemed great, and I thought to myself, oh, the kids are old enough, they can manage. It's not going to be a problem. But when we got there, I was like, oh my goodness, I forgot. I'm the mom. I'm the one that has to pack up. I'm the one that has to, arrange for transport and do all the things and, take care of the kids and all of that. And I'm like, oh, goodness gracious me, this is really, really tough. And don't get me wrong, I have the most beautiful pictures from Bali. We took pictures on the Bali swing, and I was, I had this beautiful picture of me on the swing with this flowing dress and everything, and it looked so perfect. But by the sixth night, I literally wanted to cry because I was like, I am so tired from moving from one place to another place. Yeah. So, lesson learned, which is why I made the decision last year that I was not going to travel. And I really think that sometimes when we do these trips, we really just need to pace ourselves and also to know what are our caregiving needs as well. Yeah, so if you're a mom and you're going on holidays or you're planning holidays, my advice to you would be to just take it easy. You know, take it easy. Do a holiday where you guys have all your meals sorted out and it's just relaxing. You're not traveling from one place to another place to another place. Or if you want to do those things, then just stay in one place and then pace the activities through the trip. At least that's what I've learned. Yeah, and don't feel bad if you don't want to travel. Like, if you feel that it's too overwhelming, or you've had a crazy year, or you just feel so burnt out and overwhelmed with everything that has been going on, you don't need to travel. You don't need to travel. You can completely just stay at home and relax and chill and just do things at home, and it's completely fine. You know, life is not an Instagram reel. And there are different seasons. There will be seasons where you can travel. And I'm all for traveling. I'm one of those people that really loves traveling, but I understand that this is a season in my life where that kind of has to take a back seat to my mental health and the overwhelm and the fact that, yeah, this is just not happening at this point in life. And that's fine. And that's fine. And if you have experienced this, please comment down below if you're a mom who feels really overwhelmed during the holidays as well. I wanted to make another video, and I think I'm going to do this after this because they finally stopped drilling. So I'm going to do that after this and see and talk about, the domestic load of moms that women carry during holidays. And yeah, so if you're interested in that, stay tuned for that. If you've stayed for this whole video, thank you for staying. I really appreciate you all being here. If you like this video or you resonate with it, please give it a thumbs up, like it, share it, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next video.